Are you satisfied with the progress so far in strengthening the effectiveness of development cooperation?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Certainly I am satisfied at a certain level for strengthening this effectiveness of the cooperation development cooperation. In fact, when you look at the progress have been made for the last 10 years, you will find it that there is a kind of awareness between the donors and the receivers. I mean, between the partners who are working in this one. Effectiveness of this aid has proven to be to manage to get some of the countries today moving out from the status of being a poor country to be emerging country that they want to change in the next 5 or 10 years time to become developed nations like those donors who were before. That means that aid was effective and had impact in changing the status of these nations. The poorest nations have also changed their status from not being not the poorest became lesser poor if you compare to the status that they were before. So we would like to appeal upon those partners, upon donors, to continue to maintain this aid to these nations in order for them to change their status, in order for them to see this is the mechanism that need to be changed right now, because what is happening, we shouldn't continue of giving the same way or dealing with them with these receivers or these poor countries the same way like we were doing it 10 years ago. And most of these countries, most of these nations today, they are having human development in that places. What we need to do, we need to build, we need to change we need to develop new strategies. We need to go for new means in order to help these nations to change. It shouldn't be the same way that we were handling 10 years ago. Now, they have to get new ways and new means for helping these less developed countries out, least developed countries out, do call them.
Why should rich countries continue to provide support to poor countries?
They should continue to doing so, because as you know well that the wealth need to be divided in equity manner. The privileged or the lucky one will have to think about unlucky one. The knowledgeable person has to help ignorant person, because this war you won't have peace. This is sustainable peace and security in the world, the stability, if you have more poor in the country, in the world. Less poor, less insecurity, less war, less trouble in many places. So the rich country will have to go, they have themselves to have an interest as that. If you talk about the immigration today, why the people are moving out from their own country to go somewhere else? If this country were having what they are looking for in the rich country, they won't move out from there. So if the rich country can help them where they are staying and giving them whatever, assisting them in the way that they can change their status, I think it will be good for the rich people as well as for the poor people. So the rich countries themselves, we want to maintain the world security. We want to have peace in the world. If you look at around us today, wherever you got the war, wherever you got so of this trouble, social revolutions up and down here, because the poverty has been the reason, has been the key of all the things. So if human being has a real enemy today there's nothing which is worse than the poverty.
How can development cooperation target the poor and make a difference in their lives?
It can target the poor with a proper strategic planning. We shouldn't be giving away the aid just without planning, without proper strategy. We should have our KPI, our key performance indicators. We should be asking ourselves, we should have that time frame for whatever we are doing. We are having today, you're talking about more than 440 or 45 countries, which are the very poor countries. We should have in mind that in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years, the number should go down. It should be, instead of talking about 40 or 45, we are talking about 10 or 15 or 20 maximum. So once we have a strategic planning to go against this poverty, and we have a proper way of strengthening this is the effectiveness of the aid, I think that will be make it that the changes will be possible. But that's why I'm very glad that we have this forum today, because it is an occasion for all of us to think again and to evaluate the mechanism, evaluate the strategies that we have been going through, and to find out some of these strategies need to be changed. We have to think about new ways, new methods, and new strategies in order for us to make sure that the aid itself become more effective and more helpful to the least developed nations, and these least developed nations will become one day developed nations. As you said, we won't continue of giving the fish to the people every day. What we need to do, you need to help him, you need to teach him how to fish himself. If you, just one day he's asking me, I have to give you 1 fish, 2 fish on daily basis. I will teach you, if I help him, how to teach him how to fish. Instead of having 1 fish per day, he may have 100 fishes. He may have 1,000. He may have tons of these things at season. So what we need to do, we have to strategize, and we have to plan in a way that we will see, and we have to give a time frame for whatever we do. I don't believe in working without having a deadline, without having a time frame for whatever you do. And then we will have to have this KPI, the key performance indicators, at which level we can measure, we can control, we can evaluate, we can be sure and certain that we were able to achieve our objectives. We're able to win against the poverty.